Is it possible for franchisees to just disappear? For popular power washing franchise Rolling Suds, the answer is yes. I did a deep dive into their franchise disclosure document, and what I found wasn't obvious. It was buried in the legalese. Hi, I'm Genevieve McDaniel, and this is Franchise Reality Check. Rolling Suds is one of those brands that looks great on the surface. It's fast growing, it's in the home services sector, and it seems to be recession resistant. A simple business model that almost anyone can run. And if you're a prospective franchisee, everything you see publicly points to momentum: more locations, more operators, and more opportunity. But here's what happens when we stop looking at the marketing and start looking at the disclosures. Every franchisor is required to disclose turnover: who opened, who closed, who transferred. Those numbers matter because they tell the real story of franchise health. And when I reviewed Rolling Suds' disclosure history, something just didn't quite add up. Franchisees weren't just leaving, some of them were vanishing entirely. Let me show you what I mean. This is item 20 of the franchise disclosure document. This is where franchisors must report system changes. Table 2 shows transfers from franchisees to new owners. In Table 3, you'll see columns for openings, terminations, non renewals, reacquisitions by the franchisor, and something called ceased operations other reasons. That last category is where things get interesting. In a healthy system, you can usually trace what happens to every franchise. They sell, they close, they convert. But in Exhibit E of Rolling Suds' disclosures, there are operators who left the system and don't show up in any of those buckets in item 20. They're not transferred. They don't seem to be listed as closures. They simply stop appearing. Now let's be clear. This isn't about one bad operator or one failed location. This is about transparency. When franchisees disappear from the disclosure tables, it creates a distorted picture of system health. Prospective buyers think they're stepping into a growing brand and a responsible franchise, but they're not being shown the full churn beneath the surface. And here's the real issue. Most franchise buyers don't know how to read these tables. They don't know what's normal. They don't know what's missing. They just see a logo and they hear a sales pitch. You see, franchising has a built-in incentive problem. Some franchisors think they can make more money upfront when they sell franchises and territories, not from royalty payments collected from profitable franchisees over time. So the system rewards growth, even if that growth is replacing fallen operators instead of building sustainable ones. When franchisees fail quietly, the system keeps moving. New buyers fill the spots, the brand keeps expanding, and nobody asked what happened to the people who came before. If you're considering Rolling Suds or any franchise, here's what you need to understand. The risk is not always in what's disclosed. Sometimes the risk is in what quietly disappears between the lines. You don't just ask, how many locations do you have? You ask, how many operators are still standing and profitable after 3 years? This is exactly why Franchise Reality Check exists, not to tear brands down, but to expose bad information, because franchise buyers deserve to see the full picture and not just the shiny bits. If you want to see the full analysis on Rolling Suds, I've published the complete report at franchiserealitycheck.com. And if you're evaluating a franchise right now, don't just skim the surface. If you're interested in more franchise deep dives like this one, hit that subscribe button.